Despite a game being decades old, Minecraft has always been a game that we keep coming back to, whether it's having a good time with your friends or you just want to relive the moment. There is no doubt that we play it once or twice per year. However, that begs the question of why. Why Minecraft out of all the games that we've played, one that we just keep coming back to? Now, remember when you loaded up Minecraft for the first time? How did you feel? Many of us might not know that exact feeling. Finding yourself in an open world, not knowing what to do, and realizing that you could do anything to your heart's content. That's how I felt. Like anyone, when you first launch your world, you gather yourself some wood, you craft some tools, and after realizing that you didn't have to punch all that dirt to make a dirt house, you start to go mining. For us, it felt like a simple experience, with very few complications along the way. Note how I said few. And after gathering yourself some stone, you soon begin to realize something. You could do anything you desire in this world, and in your world, anything was possible. And whilst you were upgrading your gear and getting ready to fight whatever came your way, you felt as though you had some fulfillment that needed to be delivered upon. Whether you decided to build a wall to fight off the enemies that previously infiltrated inside of your base, or build yourself some shelter to cement the superiority over the caves at which you'd explore. There were many ways that you could approach your adventures, and whilst the core game would lead to the same ending, we could take things at our own pace. Unlike many other games, we weren't forced to play it a certain way. We had no obligation to play the game the same way as others. If we liked PvP, we could play on a PvP server. If we liked to build, we could build anything we desired. And if we wanted to goof around with some friends, well, we could. Some of you may be gearing up to fight the Ender Dragon. Others will be coming up with new ways to play the game. Minecraft has been around for a while now, and while it's easy to think that a lot has changed since then, many principles have remained more or less the same. Realizing I had no rules to follow and the world at my disposal, I had endless places to explore. Although we should bear in mind I was on Pocket Edition, and even despite the awkward crafting menu and the very limited world size, I felt immersed into the game, having played it after being recommended the game by many friends from school. Yeah, I might not be the best at survival, but mining just felt fulfilling, and even after some awkward encounters, the experience just felt refreshing. And despite not being able to play with some friends due to them being on Xbox, it still didn't change how I felt. The experience of endlessly searching through the world made up for it in laughs that I could have had back with my friends. Minecraft had something for everyone. Even if you got tired of single player, you could just hop on a server. If you didn't like the core aspect of the game, well, you could just start stealing diamonds from your friend's base. At this time, I remember being recommended a Minecraft YouTuber to watch by a friend, and even whilst Pocket Edition may have lacked some features that other versions had to offer, I could just watch someone else innovate the stage. I remember the last days of school one year, where I remember sitting down with a friend who cranked up the latest factions video, and throughout the year we would be discussing these Minecraft YouTubers as time went on. And even whilst these videos were simple, it felt like a lot more. Seeing the battles that had arisen in the faction series by Dundee and Vic just felt phenomenal. Seeing that progression that was required to be made, and the tricks that plagued that progression, was far better than what was being shown on TV. I mean, you couldn't beat a good old TNT cannon blasting through that obsidian base and battering the lot. And for other videos, whether it was the magic of seeing Stampy go to the moon, or if it was just the appreciation of seeing the Lucky Block challenges by Pat and Jen, for many of us, life felt simple, not having to worry about exams or work. And for me, at the time, that meant getting excited to watch the latest Minecraft video when I got back from school, getting ready for the next factions episode. For others, it may have been goofing around with friends and getting them killed in the process. Maybe you tried to help them build their first house, which I'm sure they had struggled severely, or you're trying to get them to press WASD for the first time. However, whilst the game felt simple, it almost felt too simple. You see, at some point, the feeling began to change. Going from the feeling where there were endless possibilities to feeling like there was nothing left to do. Now that you've beat the game, you found yourself stuck with not knowing what to do next. Whether you've maxed out your armor, automated your farms, or built the bases beyond what you could have imagined when you started off with that dirt house, something just didn't feel right. Even in spite of many updates from when Minecraft released, as well as the release of many multiplayer servers to play on, we started to get a little bored. I'm sure everyone's experienced that moment where they want to delete their world and start all over again, to relive that feeling of having endless possibilities and the world at your fingertips. For someone like myself, we did start all over again, with that fresh start amongst us, and the experience of progressing through the game once again. Except that wasn't the same feeling that we had when we started. By all means, things were fresh, but how fresh? Could it feel as fresh as when we started playing, or had it become more and more bland as time went on? I mean, we do get to build a house all over again, but why didn't we do that in the previous world? We can progress through the world again, but why didn't we respawn the Ender Dragon? These are questions I've had in my mind throughout the years. You probably did as well. And there's only so many times that you can play the game before it became, well, boring. The days of downloading texture packs online and having your computer explode because of a virus were long gone, and as a result, many of us just stopped playing the game, having felt as though there was nothing left for us to do. Whether it was partly due to the lack of updates, or things that we didn't find as fresh as when we started. Even with the arrival of new servers and new features to the game, many of us just lost interest, and so did many of those that we had watched. Which brings us back to the main question: why, despite our eventual shift from playing Minecraft every day to not even playing it once a month, had we at some point during the year, whether it was us or our friends, had we just come back together to rebuild the things we made, to explore the world as though we had never explored it before, and to enjoy the game in the same way that we had started. And I think this all comes back to the point that I discussed at the beginning, and that is that we wanted to start fresh. Having played the game for hours on end in the past, at some point we aren't going to be as interested in playing the game as much anymore. That sense of almost forgetting what you know suddenly made us feel at one with the game again, not having the feeling of responsibility, a lack of an objective, and most significantly, a world full of endless possibilities. Having not punched a tree in ages made me feel like I wanted to do it again. That sudden urge to get back into that progression that I'd made all those years ago just felt at one with me. This all became apparent to me when me and my mates decided to get back together for some Minecraft. Many of you probably did as well. Even though there didn't seem to be a clear incentive for doing so, we made it happen, reliving the memories that we'd cherished and the feeling that we all had when we started. Whether we're out alone, exploring the depths of darkness, just having a bit of banter, Minecraft felt like it was great again. Not because of the updates, not because of the crazy things you could accomplish, but for the simplicity, for the old time's sake. Getting back into the game always felt weird to me, not knowing what Neverite was or what pigling trading could do. I mean, even now I still struggle to craft any of these new items, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that we came back together despite the pathways in life that we may take. Even when my friends weren't online, being able to adventure into the distance with a soundtrack that brought me back to the good old days of when there was something to appreciate. Having that loneliness, those soothing sounds that flurried up and down the world, made me realise that this was not a game. This was an experience. For all the times that we had thought we had Herobrine in our world, and for the times that we built a Nether reactor from a tutorial off of YouTube, we were reliving rather a simpler time in our lives, one without responsibility. And for that next person who will probably be building their dirt house, myself and many others will be coming back to relive that moment. Some of you may have seen a rise in Minecraft YouTubers, and whatever you think of them, I think for some of you lot in the future, you'll be looking back at the memories that you've made watching these Minecraft YouTubers, the same way me and many others did watching ours. And with many upcoming servers and new Minecraft YouTubers, I think there will be a lot for the coming generations to look forward to. Even in spite of near one-to-one copies of Minecraft videos, in the current scheme of things, I still assertively believe that there is hope to make Minecraft great again. I know that some Minecraft content hasn't been as appealing as time progresses, and I want to change that, not only to allow the older generations, but also the newer generations to experience what good Minecraft videos look like. So if you want to make Minecraft videos great again, consider subscribing, and I'm sure me and the boys will be getting back together for decades to come.